This is Mark Tronson from the Australian Missionary News. Here today I have with me Janine Trahan, yachting personality of the decade of 30 years. Janine, the Wilmot, which is your maiden name, and the Trahans, very famous yachting names in Australia.
Well, Mark, we were all very keen sailors from a very young age, and so we all followed our big brother into sailing, and the result was quite a lot of world championships. And then my sister became the first Australian woman to win a world championship against men, and then my two brothers went to the Olympic Games, but our sort of crowning achievement, other than the America's Cup, was last in Beijing. My nephew just won a gold medal, so it's all happening and they're still going. The next generations are coming through, and we just seem to just love sailing in our family. Well,
when I first talked to the yachting people, and it was through you, just to establish ministry, you were right there, you were part of the team, and you've been one of our great stalwarts.
Yeah, I really very much believe in chaplaincy and in God's hand on sporting people, because we need more heroes. We need more people that we can look up to who actually have clean living lives and who work hard and achieve and have good character. You know, the Nick Farr-Joneses of this world, and so I really believed in supporting and encouraging them to be mentors to others, and just to see the whole chaplaincy thing increase and increase, because the more we see of what goes on in sport, we know that these young people need a huge amount of help and support on the emotional, psychological side.
Okay. Now, tell us something about the Ameri Cup 1983, where the nation came to a standstill.
Yeah, it was just something I never want to live through again, because the exhaustion and, you know, living on adrenaline for probably a month. The final month we lived on adrenaline, and just being part of a team that never gave up was amazing. You know, we got to the point where it was 3-1 down, and all Dennis Conner had to do was win the next race, and quite a few famous people came through and said, oh well, now you've lost, but you did well. And John Bertrand said, no, you just see us in a couple of days. And just that determination and that.
Now, Hugh was the tactician.
Hugh was the tactician.
So what does a tactician do?
Call the shots.
He calls the shots.
Yeah, they stand in front of the steerer and pick out the wind and work out which way to go, and that's critical, because if you go the wrong way, you can be as fast as you like but still come second.
Be a long way behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
In America's Cup there is no second.
Now, you have been a media person.
Yeah.
Just in fact, we will often see your face on the television, just for yachting, a commentary, even for local news items. What sort of advice do you have for young people who may be interested in a media career?
I think in media, it's good to have a really passionate interest in something, so that can. For me, I got into media when I was 14 and I was sailing competitively. I really liked writing, so I wrote articles about regattas I'd been to, sent in the little story into the local magazine and then the monthly magazine, and by the time I was 17 I had my own page per month in the Modern Boating magazine. And
so it's getting in early.
It's getting in early, and just showing your hand at, you know, trying your hand at trying to get things published. And well, in today's world, probably get on YouTube, but just get out there and just do it, as well as, you know, a lot of people have to now get the degree. I had an arts degree, so I only had 1 year cadetship at 7. But it was mostly my experience having had things published that got me the job. I think there were 300 going for one job, and I got it in 3 different, in the Sun Herald, the Sydney Morning Herald and the Channel 7. So it was just the fact that I had done something, and plus I had my extra thing, which was my sailing success.
Yes, yes.
So those sort of things count for a lot, because it shows you're determined and you don't give up, and
that's right.
And you have a passion.
Now, you've always been passionate about seeing young people won for Jesus.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about the focus young people might need to have so that their lives are focused on the primary concept of Jesus?
Well, God showed me something just recently that if I saved up and spent a lot of money and bought you something really wonderful, something that you'd wanted for a long time, and instead of spending time with me, say I bought you an iPhone and you wanted that forever, and suddenly you've got this iPhone and you spend all your time on the iPhone and forget about me, I'm going to be really, really upset. And that's the way God feels about us. He's given this most wonderful creation. But if we spend all our time on the creation, on all the wonderful blessings that He's given us, and forget about Him, we're missing the big picture. You know, my son said if he gave me something and I just forgot about him, he'd want to just throw that thing and get rid of it, because it would break our relationship. And having a loving relationship with the Holy Spirit, I mean, He knows everything, He is everything, and He loves us so much that you're just cutting off a supply of life to yourself. That you know, young people get depressed and they get cut into something that's really taking them away from the big picture, and then suddenly it all falls apart and they've got nothing. And I see that happen a lot in young people's lives, and it's really making people realise that God is the source of all love, all joy, and to have a continual flow of the presence of the Holy Spirit in your life. That's what we're created for, to thank Him and to worship Him. And
well, Janine,
yeah.
You have been that kind of inspiration to me for many, many years.
Thank you.
You've been a wonderful friend, and I just want to say thank you. This is Mark Tronson signing off for the Australian Missionary News.